Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the FSL Wild Rift Open. Of course, sponsored by our lovely sponsors Yahoo and Intel. I'm Dread Escape Artist Peters, and this is Glacialks, and we are going to be bringing you into the third game now, which is, I believe, Alliance FE Gaming going up against. Alliance E Gaming FE going up against Moonlight.
Now, we are in the Champions League. We do see, oh, nice Katarina pick here. I think the first that we've seen so far. Um, Also, interestingly enough, there's going to be Olaf and a Garen, right? We haven't seen those yet. Again, Malphite and Akali were banned for the side of Alliance E Gaming FE. So, if they really want a tank, I mean, Garen is that go-to tank, going to be responded here by a Gragas, I believe. Um, Now, they do have the Seraphine on the side of Alliance E Gaming. So, they did take away the Braum for themselves. So, they are in a position where there really isn't anybody to sort of counter the Seraphine ultimate. I really do like the composition for Alliance E-Gaming FE, right? I feel their composition is very safe, right? They have the Braum, they have the Seraphine, even the Gregor stop, which I assume is going tank as a form of peel, right? Although the Olaf is a little bit iffy, I think he does work as another front line and is able to peel for the Seraphine and the Kai'Sa. On the other side, now Moonlight, I think it heavily depends on Desire as well as Katarina to really pop off in the early game and get those leads. If not, it's just going to be really hard for them to fight the late game potential of the Seraphine and the Kai'Sa Braum.
And that's right, it's going to be a Zaya Rakan bottom lane right now. It's something that we haven't seen yet today. We did see Rakan earlier, but this is going to be the first Zaya of today. Zaya, of course, a very strong AD carry, but not exactly picked to the likes of Kai'Sa. But what's your opinion of this bot lane matchup right now?
Now, I do believe Zaya Rakan are a winning duo against the likes of the Kai'Sa Braum. Because Rakan does outrange the Braum, he's able to poke and heal and sustain, and Zaya also does have access to such poke, right? And not only that, they do have options to engage as well. So they are very versatile, whereas the Braum and the Kai'Sa are only stuck into playing a single lane matchup, right? They can only go forward or just like kite back, but they can't poke, they can't sustain. So we do see a little bit of an invade though.
That's right, they have 4 members and they're just gonna run
They didn't
past each other. Yeah, I don't think they were spotted out there.
Okay.
They way further in and hello! I think Vi saw that and I don't think this is a good idea, Vi.
Did he not?
Okay, Vault Breaker actually charged up.
We do see the Rakan in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna give up this raid right now to the Olaf, and now as a 4-man kind of goon squad.
Okay, Vi going straight to the enemy blue.
That's right, Vi actually is the one who's moving back. I don't know if this is spotted out just yet, but Seraphine will check it out. Kai'Sa will drop their ward as well. Now what can they do?
Oh no, this is looking really
get that blue buff? Vi managed to get the blue buff. Garen flashing away, and now Rakan flashing away as well. You know what? This is the kind of thing we type in all chat worth. They got
that was
not the best, but hey, they got the blue, I guess.
Right. I mean, at the end, we do see the gold is sort of even, but they are trading a blue buff for red buff. And not only that, Olaf did manage to get the Crux Karen from the Vi, so they do come out slightly ahead.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that 3 flashes were used as well in that entire ordeal.
So, I mean, as long as they don't get punished, right, for missing these summoners, I think all will be fine. But of course, if we do see the Braum and the Kai'Sa, interesting enough, this is a lane swap, right? Which Riot did try to patch out, but of course, competitively, if you try hard enough, anything is possible.
Absolutely.
So, 3-man is going to be in the mid lane here. The Zaya walking up to match the Kai'Sa in the top lane.
But yeah, Olaf though, he's trying to contest on that Scuttle Crab. But the Gragas damage there, that's pretty insane.
Garen is still level 2.
Yeah, Garen is still level 2, that's right. Vi dropping very low as well. Is able to Vault Breaker out there. But wow.
I mean, they do manage to get a Scuttle Crab at the cost of nothing much actually. I don't think much was burned as well, right? The Garen already did not have a splash. So it's just going to be a Scuttle Crab win for the side of Moonlight. But the thing that, what I wanted to highlight earlier was that we do see how the lack of engage on the side of Alliance E Gaming FE is sort of affecting their early game contests, right? Because if they had like an Alistar, for example, or like a Wukong, you know, they would be able to get on top of the enemy. But you know, missing that key engage potential just made them unable to sort of contest that scuttle. And not only that, they had a chance to kill them, right? But missing, you know, they were greedy of the summoners, and not only that, they don't have any innate engage potential.
Yeah, that's right. And not to mention the fact that this Garen is like 1.5 levels down. Gragas is gonna hit level 5 and have his ultimate. Garen, meanwhile,
Ooh.
he's only level 3, so things not looking very good right now in the bottom side of the map for Moonlight at this point. Oh, Gragas is gonna get spun
Yeah,
on.
both level 3.
Yeah, there's not too much that they can do except just poke him out a bit and remind him that they still exist, I guess.
I mean, if we do look at the gold, right? Alliance E-Gaming FE, they are up about maybe 500-600 gold just from farming itself, right? So we do see the effects of this, how this lane swap really, you know, sort of boosted them in the early game, right? Compared to if they had maybe gone with the normal laning phase, the Kai'Sa bomb might have fallen quite far behind the Zyra Khan, right? If we consider a standard 2v2.
Katarina just showing her face at the top side there, I guess, to try to ensure that this Zyra can get a push in.
Yeah,
They are gonna make their first recalls.
gonna be recalling for this Ocean Dragon, if I'm not mistaken, but they are gonna be there late. So
Dragon has spawned.
Yeah, Kai'Sa is actually gonna be there first, and in fact, Katarina didn't even make a recall.
right,
She's still sitting
on that long sword.
Yeah, sitting on that long sword with a lot of gold. She is level 6 right now, but I think it's probably the best to make a recall right now, Katarina.
I mean, is both teams just hovering around Dragon? Both look very hesitant to actually start it. I mean, if you were Alliance E-Gaming FE at this point in time, I think if you saw how far you were ahead, right, not just in gold but in items as well, right? Because if they saw that Katarina only having the long sword, of course, for the side of Moonlight, they do have the Blade of the Ruined King completed on the Zyra, so it is side full. Oh,
She ignited? Okay. I didn't want to say anything because I was like, she can't possibly do anything with a long sword, and I was absolutely right. She just jumps in and uses the ignite to kind of, I guess, scare the Seraphine, but she still is sitting on that long sword right now.
Dragon gonna reset though.
Yeah, Dragon.
I mean, at least she didn't use her ultimate, right? It was
Okay,
still, yeah,
Fair
it
enough.
wasn't the worst. Maybe it was a misclick.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Katarina is moving down
Oh.
though, and the engage coming out of the Rakan is gonna miss that one, but health bars are starting to drop lower and lower. Katarina is using the ultimate, but she's just gonna get knocked straight in. It's gonna be Garrett who falls down for first blood, and the Seraphine ultimate is gonna tag up all 3 of them. Absolutely massive stuff right there. Katarina forced to run away. Xayah was actually able to find one back onto the Olaf, but Kai'Sa in turn avenging her teammate. That's gonna be the Ocean Dragon going down for the side of Alliance E-Gaming FE.
I mean, I think overall it was a nice try, definitely, but the Katarina missing her items was just not able to provide any damage in that situation, because there was the right idea, right? The Vi and the Rakan with that strong engage and no counterplay potential, right? Because they just went onto the Kai'Sa, but they did not have the damage to just instantly one-shot her. And the Braum and the Gragas just had so much peel, and I don't know, it was just so hard for them to be able to just control the team fight, especially when they were so far down in terms of power and items.
Absolutely, and it's just kind of little macro mistakes that can really cost you there, because sure, Katarina was able to channel her ultimate, but with one longsword really, versus if she had that complete Hextech Gunblade that she has now, the amount of damage she could have done, the difference it could have made, and for such a simple thing. But now, there's no time to talk about that because there's a fight, and it's gonna be Rakan that's dropping pretty low.
Oh, is he going to fall to the ignite?
Yeah, he's not gonna fall to the ignite, but the Rift Herald will go over. Oh, it's actually Seraphine that is taken down, but oh, Vi with the Guardian Angel. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna be making out of that one. Rakan is pretty low as well. Let's see if anything else happens. Katarina, they're channeling a Death Lotus, but she is promptly interrupted by a very nice ultimate from the Braum, and that means that Olaf is gonna pick a double kill up for himself.
I mean, I think overall, still going to be a huge W for the side of Alliance E-Gaming FE, right? They managed to secure the Rift Herald, they get 2 kills. The Seraphine dying there on the back end was a little bit unfortunate, right? Slightly out of position, getting caught out by the Katarina, but you know, overall, just going to be a huge tempo swing into the side of Alliance.
And not only that, but I believe it was a 4v5 because the Gragas was just free pushing on the bot lane, and he was able to pick up that turret.
So now, what will Moonlight do, because like we said earlier, their composition is very hard to play against against alliances one, because first of all, you know, they scale so much better. The Seraphine, the Braum, the Gragas, and the Kai'Sa all scale so much stronger than the likes of, you know, Katarina, the Vi, as well as the Xayah. So I feel like it's going to be very hard, considering that they were supposed to win this early game, right? But when they fall behind, now they just have to wait for Alliance E Gaming FE to throw it back in their favor.
Yeah, this is becoming a trend today where teams pick early game compositions and then they are unable to perform and they end up actually losing out the early game, and then it just really becomes very tough for them to come back. We're seeing that again. Olaf is, yeah, he's just gonna face check that one because he's pretty strong right now, especially when he has the Ragnarok. He'll be just fine. But a 3-man rotate to the mid lane. Olaf does have that Rift Herald. Not sure if they want to use it. Yep, they do use it right about now.
I mean, this is the sort of side effect of having Katarina, right? You don't have the mage that you need to wave clear, so they have to really rely on the Xayah to wave clear this. But, you know, the amount... Oh, okay, no, there's not going to be any engage. Well, the Rift Herald doesn't... Oh,
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, they do chunk out the Rakan, and maybe they do get this tower, right? Because the Xayah does need to go up to the top lane to sort of help the Katarina in this 1v1.
Oh boy. That right there is not a good look for Katarina. Having to flash away from the Kai'Sa. Yeah, that's definitely very rough right now. They are really being pulled all across the map. Moonlight are not having a good day.
I mean, but for the side of Alliance E Gaming FE though, they're really happy. Right? They get a free mid tower. They burn the flash of Katarina. Their top tower stays alive. Their bot tower stays alive. So now they're just going to be looking for this Cloud Dragon. And interestingly enough, we do see the Xayah stay top lane. So it does mean that Moonlight do understand, okay, I think it's going to be very hard for us to for us to win this dragon fight. So maybe we just get a little bit of farm. If they take the dragon, it's okay.
Yeah, that's right. Alliance E-Gaming FE are positioned around that dragon right now, and they're going to be starting it up. Looks like there is no contest, and looks like it's a decisive call. I say that, but the Vi is just coming in right now. I tell an absolute lie. I've cursed this team. Vi is just going to be going down. And again, this is the thing that we talked about earlier, where the teams cannot seem to come to a concrete decision on whether, hey, either A, we contest and we try to fight, or B, we don't, because that right there looked rather indecisive. Looked like, hey, you know, let's go in, but our Xayah is in the top lane, so what do we do? And then they just end up falling.
Right, I think a little bit of, not a little bit, but quite a lot of indecision that has been shown here. I think they're a little bit confused, right? Because their composition is one that they are maybe more used to when playing from ahead. So we see a lot of teams, especially the games that we have seen before, where they're just really indecisive and don't know how to play from behind. Oh,
Bit of a fight here. Braum forced to flash with the assault, and battery is going to land onto that Kai'Sa, who flashes out as well. Now Rakan is the one who gets chunked. He gets stunned up by the Braum passive, and Olaf is just running straight in. He is that fed Viking right now. He does get popped in a Guardian Angel, and so does the Vive. Garen teleporting in, but really what can he do? Spin, lands at the Mass Injustice, but not enough damage to find that kill. Now Gragas has teleported up as well. He's here. Happy Hour is incoming, and he just lands that body slam straight onto the Xayah. He has the ultimate, I believe. Oh, he doesn't, but he doesn't need to use it actually, because it's going to be the Killer Instincts that secures that kill for the Kai'Sa.
no, I think that was just really easy rotation for the side of Alliance E Gaming FE, right? They get the Cloud Dragon, they push out the mid lane, and they rotate towards the top side to get the free tower. And, you know, being so behind that they are, Moonlight tried to contest for the tier 1 turret, but they just went too far in, and they just got punished. They lost the tower, they lost kills, and overall just falling way further behind. 10,000 gold lead right now for the side of Alliance E Gaming FE.
If that's right, it's nothing that they cannot come back from, but it's still going to be pretty tough for them. The Baron has spawned right now. It's been up for a little bit. The Moonlight attempts to kind of reset a little bit and spend some of the money that they do have. They are not too far behind. The main difference, of course, is in the jungle, where we see a nearly 4,000 gold difference between this Olaf and this Vi.
Now, I think this is... Oh, I mean the Seraphine
Yeah.
still gets. Ooh.
Okay, Seraphine actually getting caught up by the Vi right there, forced the flash away, but Vi taking so much damage in return, nearly falls.
Ooh.
In fact, that is,
I think that was
yeah.
really, really lucky. If he died there, it might have converted into a Baron capture because, without the smite of the jungler, there's just no way for them to be able to steal this Baron. Now, side of Alliance E-Gaming FE going to be playing around the Baron side here, controlling a little bit of the vision. Um, but nothing much that's going to happen. I think right now, both teams are just waiting for the next dragon, which is going to be the Inferno Dragon. Probably the best dragon in the game at the moment. Trying to catch out the Garen here in the top lane, maybe?
I think they just,
Or they don't see him.
yeah, they don't see. He managed to get out of that one just fine. But they're just gonna continue to take farm away and continue to get prio and wards in the enemy's jungle. There are pings on the dragon right now. It's nowhere near to being up, but sending both the Katarina and the Xayah to the same lane. I don't know if that's the best lane assignment.
I mean, right now I think the fact that they see Katarina bot lane, they could actually easily just start the Baron because Katarina would have to run from all the way from bot lane to the Baron Nashor itself, right? But we do see some blue pings coming out onto the Inferno Dragon now. Both teams don't want to take the risk and flip it at the Baron, which, respectable decision. Just going to take the easy, convenient win, which is going to be the Inferno Dragon here. I don't think Moonlight are going to be able to contest in any way at all, right? Being so far behind in gold.
And that's right, and hopefully they know that and they are able to make a decisive call about that one because we saw what happened the previous time. Keep your eyes on the Vi right now. The Garen is in the top lane, but this Vi is going to get caught off. Able to Vault Breaker out. The Braum Winter's Bite is not going to land, but that means that they've given up all control of the river and now they must walk through that little choke there where Seraphine can just land a beautiful ultimate should they choose to stay. And they're going in, but they just go straight into a Glacial Fissure and they instantly get deleted. Vi is able to steal the Dragon Butt, and what caused Kaisa is just tearing through her opponents right now, and so is the Olaf. He is godlike. Katarina is like, hey guys, what happened? Everyone's dead. What's going on?
I mean, that was definitely like not. It's not a hashtag worth moment for sure. Like they do get the Inferno Dragon, but even if the Vi was the only person to die, they would have just instantly converted into a Baron capture. So I think not the most optimal decision making there, especially because the Katarina wasn't in position to help out in the team fight. So overall, just really hard for them to just play the game itself, right? Because like we said earlier, if they don't snowball in the early game, once the Seraphine and the Braum and Gregor scale, it's going to be so hard for the Katarina to be able to impact these team fights. And not just that, right? The Xayah has to go through, not like this Randuin's Braum, as well as the Olaf and this like fat Gregors.
Absolutely, and we saw what happened to the engage there, the Rakan and the Vi just running straight into a Glacial Fissure where they just got knocked up and they just got crowd controlled to death. They really couldn't do much to get onto the Kaisa at all, and that is a very big problem for them right now, especially now that the opponents have the Baron buff. Moonlight are really on the back foot. They really need to find a way back into this game, or they need to start thinking about their next game.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, right, we have been seeing this as a trend. I think game ones are usually very one-sided.
Oh my lord,
gosh.
that is insane damage right there. The
Ooh.
Seraphine ultimate is gonna clean up that Rakan right there. Vi is running away for her dear life right now, surviving with about 200 health. But the rest of the team is just pushing all over the map really for the side of Alliance Gaming FE. They're gonna be able to easily clean out this turret, and they might even
Oh,
look for
Garen
more.
flank.
Garen flank, but
Oh,
but
there's no
but-
flank anymore.
I mean, he comes in, he spins, but really nothing's happening, and this Olaf is just once again taking out this
Solo
Xayah.
killed.
Yeah, and that's a problem right now because no one can match this Olaf, no one can match this 3-man siege, and no one can match the Gragas in bot lane. So realistically, what can you do about this? There is a huge wave in top lane and in mid lane as well, and I believe that means that this is the last stand.
Oh,
And Vi just tries her very best, but it's just not gonna be enough. And Alliance FE E-Gaming, they pick up game 1 of the series.
I mean, I think overall, right, it's just rather than the previous games where we saw teams played more of a wombo combo style, we do see that Alliance E-Gaming FE, right, they play a more safer style with a kite back composition, and they just played it well, right? They played it safe, they didn't overextend, they take early fights where they knew that they could win, And once they got the early lead, right, as long as they outskilled their opponent, they didn't make any stupid mistakes. They were just in a really, really good position overall.
Yeah, and this is really sad, but the Katarina pick did less damage than the Braum. That is, I don't know. Maybe they want to rethink this Katarina pick. Maybe they want to pick something more safer and more conventional, just another control mage in the mid lane. But this is obviously a very convincing show right now from Team Alliance E-Gaming FE.
I think from the side of Moonlight, rather than the draft being the issue, right, I feel like they had definitely some communication errors that they had to fix, right? Because there was a lot of indecision, and some of the lane assignments didn't make sense with how they were going about the game. Well, of course, I think if they want to look to make this game two going to be closer or have the chance to win the series, they definitely have to pick themselves back up, right? The mental game is definitely the most important here. Getting smashed in the best of three, first game is, it can happen. So we'll have to see what is the adaptation that they make to fix some of these comms errors or how they want to change the draft to fit more of their playstyle.
Yep, that's right. We will have to see that for us. Now we're going to be going for a short break, but we'll be back for game 2 of the series. Stay tuned. Hello there everyone and welcome back to the FSL Wild Rift Open. We are here for game 2 of this best of 3 series. We've got Alliance E-Gaming FE going up against Moonlight. And we are already in the middle of the draft right now. Alliance have opted to ban out the Braum and the Akali, and Moonlight decided to ban out Gragas as well as Ziggs.
Now, interestingly enough, we do see Alistar being the first pick here, answered by the Janna Ahri. I think Janna historically is considered a counter to Alistar, but in the lane it is sort of a skill matchup, right, where you can cancel his first and second skill combo with your Tornado, but obviously I think even in the team fight as well, your Monsoon just so much healing and so much disengage against the likes of the Alistar.
Yeah, and against the likes of the Malphite as well as the Zed, really to help to peel for your key carries. Ahri as well, something that we haven't seen at all today. We did see it be picked once, I believe, or was it banned?
It was banned.
Once, yeah, it was banned once. Other than that, really, we haven't seen it. And Lee Sin as well being picked up over on the side of Alliance, I believe.
Now, I think on the side of Alliance E-Gaming FE here, they do kind of need to pick some form of AD or physical damage because their team has a lot of magic damage. And, for the side of Moonlight, they do have many tanks, right? They have the Alistar and the Malphite, so they are opting into the Darius here. Good, very, very good matchup into the Malphite, right? Easily one of the strongest laning champions right now in the game. Sending the Mundo into the jungle here, which, into Lee Sin isn't the best, but as long as no shenanigans happen, no invades happen, the Mundo will be happily scaling.
That's right, I believe Mundo did receive a bit of a nerf in the form of the nerf to the Sunfire in 2.2a, where they lowered the damage that it can do, so he's really looking to be more of a tank than anything else at this point in time. But judging by these team comms here and seeing these new champions, who do you think has the upper hand?
I would say it's still going to be similar to the last game, right? Where, on the side of Moonlight, right, they really have the responsibility to get ahead in the game. They are running the Alistar, the Malphite Kaisa, as well as Zed, right? The Zed Lee Sin, strong early game champions that really, really want to get ahead early on. Because later on in the game, Zhonya's in this game is so accessible by everyone. The Zed is just going to be having such a hard time to be picking anybody off. As well as not to mention, the Janna. Oh, if you realize something, Janna actually has Smite here.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Looking for some sort of cheese. Pulling out a cheese here. I'm not sure if they needed to pull out this cheese, but... Oh.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a read on that, though Malphite is actually just going to get poked out a little bit. But they're walking in to just place a ward.
I mean, 3 wards already placed onto the enemy top side, blue buff here. I'm looking to see what this smite is actually supposed to accomplish. I think they're looking to double jungle actually, to prevent the Lee Sin from being able to punish the Mundo, I assume.
I don't know, she used her smite to, I guess, help to leash. In fact, both of them used their smite. Oh my lord, if he landed that right there, they have no smite. Okay, Mundo's able to take that one.
Oh my goodness, that was so close.
Yeah. That was ridiculously close. Now they need to back out of this one. Darius is walking in. He is level 2, but he's not going to be able to find any pull. But still, interestingly, they both used their smites very early on onto the camp.
Right. I mean, I think overall, they were pretty lucky with that for
Yeah.
sure. But we do see the Mundo is going to be quite far ahead because he's already done 2 camps. The Lee Sin has barely even like halfway through his blue buff probably. So really, oh, he just finished it.
Yep.
Really slow clear speed for him.
Yeah, and they know about it because of all the wards that they have in the jungle right there on the top side. Mundo can very clearly go down bot, and he knows that there'll be no contest for this Scuttle Crab at all. And in fact, yeah, you're right, it is a double jungle. Janna does smite that Scuttle Crab just to help them take it a little faster, and now it looks like they're going to be pathing towards the mid lane.
Oh, going for the double scuttle here. Maybe this is why they decided to go for the double jungle because it really starves out the Lee Sin. Okay.
Oh no, that's not good right there. The Deer's taking a bunch of damage, but Mundo securing that, and you're absolutely right. Starving out the Lee Sin there.
Level 4 to the level 2 of the Lee Sin.
Absolutely, that is the thing that this Janna has been able to do with this smite and the boot start as well, just to help her to kind of roam around. Now she's moving down towards her bot lane finally. But the thing is that Alistar can't really respond to it because he doesn't have smite. He can't help his jungler out as much as the Janna can.
Oh, looks like it's going to be a topside gank here. The Darius
Yep.
does
Ooh,
not have
Darius.
flash.
Yeah, he actually goes down to first blood. Mundo should be able to clean this one up, but underestimating the damage on Malphite. He actually manages to flash out and he lives. That is disaster right there in the top lane.
Oh my, I think that was really, not calculated there. But, I mean, overall, positive thing happening for Moonlight, right? Because they were a little bit down in gold. You see, they got the first blood, but they're even in gold, So, the Malphite there really pulling the weight back for his team. And then, we will see how this double jungle really affects the game itself. Because, we look at the amount of gold that Janna really has. Somehow she's able to keep up with the Alistar despite the fact that, if you take Smite, you are going to receive lesser gold, lesser EXP from minions. So their gamble has really just paid off. Oh,
Wow.
that was a little bit weird.
Yeah, a bit of a frame issue there on our end. I was holding my breath to see what was going to happen, but it looks like nothing too much is happening. Just a little bit of a show of force in the bottom lane right now. Moonlight have decided to do. And they're actually keeping their Zed here, and the Alistar is the one who's rotated to mid. If you keep your eyes on the map there, you'll see that Malphite has walked down as well. The dragon is spawning in 18 seconds, and Malphite does have the ultimate for himself.
Now both teams here are going to be playing around. Oh, the small Krugs, they're going to be stopping the Lee Sin recall, which is going to be crucial here because he's not going to make it in time for the dragon, right? The Mundo is going to be way faster because of that.
Yeah. I mean, to me, my question is, why is the Alistar been in mid for like 1 minute? They're just absorbing all the solo experience and the gold as well, when that could be placed on, well, anyone else. Oh, and he's gonna get caught out as well. I believe he has the ultimate, which is gonna pop as well as the flash. That's a nice 3-man knock up there. And Malphite going in as well, but where is the damage? Where's the follow-up? There it is. It's coming down right there. Mundo is gonna fall. Lee Sin is just gonna kick that Darius away, but Ari is taken out too. Now Darius in with the re-engage. Lee Sin, he's gonna bleed to death for sure. It's gonna be Corki actually. Then Valkyrie's here to take him out. Now Kaisa is in a spot of trouble with the Zed, and he's able to make it out alive. Zed without any energy cannot throw anything back at the enemy team. And for now, Alliance, E-Gaming, FE have won that little skirmish.
I mean, I think overall that was just actually a really good start for the side of Moonlight. It's just that right after they layered their CC, they were so split on the target selection that they didn't manage to actually lock down anybody and kill them. Oh.
Yep, Alistar this time, he does not have the Unbreakable Will. The Monsoon is going to be popped for the extra healing as well. I believe that was an early smite, and that means that Lee Sin can come in and steal that one. Now the fight has broken out once again. Frames are dropping. I don't know what's happening, but so are the health bars. It's going to be a double kill for Malphite for now. Rampage for him. He's doing a lot. Alistar has fallen as well.
Kaisa is so low here. I mean, Moonlight was really fortunate there because the Mundo smited way too early. And the Janna, they had the double smite, but the Janna didn't have his smite up. So it ended up the dragon going in favor of Moonlight, and they did pick up a lot of key kills. And if you notice, right, the Malphite is going full AP, so he is going to have a lot of effectiveness, especially against the squishies like the Ari, the Corki, as well as the Janna.
Again, same question. Why is this Alistar still in the mid lane? Why is he? Why has he had so many resources? Why is it Zed is the one who's walking up here instead of the Alistar? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just kind of odd. To me.
funneling the cow.
Funneling the cow for
Yeah.
some weird reason, right? I don't understand that, but they do have the priority on the Rift Herald for now. They're gonna be sending the Zed up to the top lane, rotating Mundo up as well, and they're just gonna let Darius cover the mid lane.
Now both teams here sending their dual lane into the top side of the map, going to be playing for this Rift Herald. Going to be really curious to see. I mean, right now Malphite did recall and pick up a teleport, so it is really good for him, right? Because he's able to shove out the bot wave and TP there if he needs to. So right now Moonlight should just play it slow. Or early teleport going to be coming in, looking for a flank here.
Okay, he
but
can potentially fight through, but he's walking the wrong way. He's just gonna walk out of that one.
okay.
This side's against challenging those 3 members of Moonlight, of Moonlight's gaming. I mean, for now. This Alistar, however, is going to take a lot of damage. The Unbreakable Will is popped as well as the Gargoyle still played. Zed is jumping in on the Corki, but it's not going to be enough damage. Meanwhile, the Rift Herald getting stolen away by the Mundo. What can this Malphite do about this? He is full AP. He had used his ultimate as well. This Kai'Sa now flashing into the middle of 3 members. That right there is, as you would say, an alpha move. And Malphite flashing straight back in the ground pound. But the Ahri with the stopwatch is able to find the shutdown and is able to live as well.
That was really sick outplay there from the Ahri. I think the Zhonya's there coming in real clutch. I mean, you're just paying dividends, right? Because she knew that the only way she would die is against the Zed, and buying that Zhonya just instantly negated one of the targets that the Zed could go on. So the moment that Corki buys that Zhonya's as well, it's going to be so hard for the Zed to play the game. Right, which is what we talked about earlier. If they are unable to get an early lead in the game, and we can see the Zed is about 1,500 gold behind the Ahri here. I mean, of course, the Zed has been spending a lot of time not in the lane itself, so that might be one of the reasons why you can see the Zed is kind of roaming again.
Yeah, I think it's just roaming at the improper times, really. When there are minions in the lane, he is not there. And when there are no minions, he is just there to stand around. But this Corki is
Nice trade.
pretty much online, really, with that Trinity Force as well as the BF Sword, doing a fair amount of damage. But it looks like Alistar might be in a bit of a spot right now. Lee Sin is able to get the Scarlet Crab and get the Alistar out as well.
Right, I think an important thing to highlight here is that the gold is pretty even between the both teams, right? But the most important thing is whether... Oh, hold on.
Yep. Zed.
Nice trade there onto the Zed.
That's not even a trade. Zed didn't even fire anything back at all. He couldn't. He didn't have a chance to do so. That's a good amount of damage being landed onto him. And the dragon is coming up in 13 seconds.
Yeah. What I wanted to say earlier was that the people that have the gold on Alliance E-Gaming FE are the Corki and the Ahri, right? Which are the carries of the team. Whereas, you know, on the other side of Moonlight, it is the Malphite and the Kai'Sa. The Malphite not really having as much effectiveness as well as the fact that, you know, Ahri, Corki are just so mobile. It's going to be so hard to lock down both of them at the same time.
Rift Herald is summoned in the bottom lane as the dragon is started up by the side of Moonlight.
Oh, is this just going to be given over?
Yeah, looks like it. Looks like there might be a fight afterwards, though. The Mundo getting knocked up a fair amount, and this Malphite taking a lot of damage as well. Beautiful Jetta Tornado there for a clean disengage. And honestly, that was the most decisive, I guess, gift of Dragon I've seen so far today, where they actually didn't fully commit and they were able to get out alive.
I mean, I'm not sure if that was really worth, right? Because we did see the Malphite lose. Oh,
okay. Ahri getting caught out here. Spirit Rush is used as well, just to be able to build enough space. Does not find the Orb of Deception back onto the Alistar, but that's gonna be a flash down for the Ahri. Wait, no, she didn't flash. That was the Alistar flash.
Yeah,
My bad there.
flash.
The Ahri used the Spirit Rush.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know how valuable that was because we did see the Malphite was really far ahead of the Darius, right? So I think there was no point in time where Darius could actually contest the Malphite, but giving that top tier 1 tower to the Darius and allowing the Malphite to, you know, fall a little bit behind because he had to miss a lot of CS on the top side. So now they are both relatively even in gold, where I think after this recall, Darius should be able to contest him in the side lane. So really have to see how this Malphite is going to be able to impact team fights. He is buying a Guardian Angel, it seems like, second item, which is a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. awkward as it may be, he's managed to find a whole bunch of damage onto that Darius with his ultimate there, and he's able to find that solo kill. He's now an unstoppable Malphite with the unstoppable force.
I think that was just really awkward because the Darius had so much gold in his inventory, right? But he didn't recall because the Malphite was constantly pressuring him and he was too greedy. He didn't want to give up that minion wave and he just ended up getting punished.
Yep, that's right. Even though Malphite may be buying a Guardian Angel, he still has that Luden's Echo, and you still have to respect that damage, especially when you don't have a single item as the Darius did not have. Zed is going back down to bot lane to actually split push this, and I think this is good compared to what he's been doing otherwise, when he's just been running around to the point that there's now a 2,000 gold deficit between him and the Ahri.
Right, and I mean, we also, if we do look at the items, basically on everyone, right, a lot of them are all hitting their 2-item spikes, right? We do see the Mundo with his Sunfire Spirit Visage, and the Triforce Infinite Edge on the Corki. I mean, a little bit awkward itemization with the Awakened Soul Stealer on the Ahri, but I mean, I guess the extra cooldown reduction does help a lot. Oh, we do see for the side of Moonlight, all of them are rotating up here for this top tower.
This Darius, he's going to get knocked up a whole bunch, going to get kicked back. He is in a bounty castle right now, and he is going down.
Oh no, the kill goes over to Alistar, probably not the person that you wanted to give it to, but nonetheless, you still managed to get a free kill on top of a free top tier 1 tower.
That's right, Malphite is staying as well in the top side. He's going to get chased away by the Corki, but the rest of his team is going to be able to start pushing in this mid lane.
Oh,
Okay, that's a nice charm there, but
I mean, the Ahri at this moment doesn't really have much damage. Like, she is far ahead of the Zed, but buying Awakened Soul Stealer is not really an item that gives you a lot of damage stats, right? It's more utility item, gives you a lot of cooldown reduction, especially onto her mobility spell, right, which is her ultimate. So we will see how this plays an effect, right? Because now she can be a lot more greedy. Oh,
okay.
flash.
Yeah, that's not a good thing if you're Zed. Flash away from the Corki, who also is 2,000 gold ahead of him. Actually thinking about it with 2 complete items as well, but for Moonlight, they're starting to push out their bottom lane, and right now the gold may be dead even, but if we look at who the gold is on, okay, no time to talk about that because the gold is on their Malphite. He's able to slap them down. The Janna, however, is able to pick it up with just a sliver of health. The Darius has teleported in. The Spirit Rush right now is gonna allow Ahri to land some damage, and 5 members strong now for Alliance in the bottom side. The Dragon is up, and the Malphite does not have his ultimate.
I mean, that was a really, it was a nice try, but I think the Alistar failed the combo there or wasn't in range to follow up, so it was really awkward, right? Because nobody was there and was in position to, 1v4.
Yep, that's right, 1v4, but he is a tanky cow. Lee Sin has flown into a pit as well. Who is going to get the smite? It's going to be Lee Sin, and that's a nice knock up there from him as well. The Zed has got into the fight, and here comes the Malphite, dominating. First kill onto the Corki. Zed is going to take out the Ahri as well. Moonlight are running away with this fight. This Janna is going to fall as well. Darius is the only one alive right now, and they look to be rotating over to that Baron.
Oh.
He's playing with fire. Oh my goodness, just to close the gap right there. The bowling ball does not land enough damage, but the team should be able to get this Baron without any trouble.
Are they though?
Okay, no, I tell a lie. They are too low. They're gonna back away.
I mean, I think they could have probably done it if the Zed and Malphite were there. So, a little bit of a blunder there. Now they give out so much space for the side of Alliance E-Gaming FE, right? Because now the Baron is still up, right? And considering the fact they do have 2 smites, right? It's still going to be really risky for you to start this Baron and, against the likes of Mundo. Of course, Janna and Mundo both do not have flash. So if they were timing the flashes, they would know, right? If the Mundo and Janna are, outside of the pit, it's going to be easy for us to start. But of course, there is going to be a very high risk that comes with that decision. So, the Malphite here, a little bit overextended. Is he going to be able to get out?
I think he's fine.
Oh no.
Yeah. He's out. That he was never there. No one ever knew. He is absolutely fine, and he's now got himself a Rabadon's Death Cap as well. So that's going to be his 3rd item. His ultimate is going to be doing a lot of damage.
I mean, I really feel that the people carrying this game are definitely the Malphite and the Kaisa, because the Zed here is so useless, especially because like we said before, the moment that they started picking up Zhonya's, it's going to be so hard for Zed to do anything. Because anybody he goes on, he's just gonna get Zonyard, right? And if he goes on Janna, he's just gonna be out of the way, and there's no way he kills either the Darius or the Mundo. So it's gonna be really hard for the Z to impact this game, outside of just obviously clearing waves and split pushing. So we will have to see um, if the game is able to last longer. I think Alliance E-Gaming FE will be able to be in the lead because again their champions just scale better, right? The Mundo, the Corki are just going to be so much stronger in the later stages of the game. But will they be able to last till that time is the real question.
That's right, we are 16 minutes into the game, and right now Moonlight are the ones with a 5,000 gold lead to their name. Pretty sizable amount on that Malphite there, who is in the top lane right now, maybe trying to find a sneaky pick or just get some vision for his team. The Baron, of course, is alive right now. Let's take a bit of stock and take a look at the items other than the Malphite. The Kai'Sa as well is on 3 items, and so is the Lee Sin. Even Zed at this point has actually caught up thanks to the last team fight. Right now his gold is equal to the Corki and the Ahri.
I think the most important thing here is that, you know, on the side of the Mundo and the Corki, right? Yeah, 3 item spikes are just so huge, right? Because oh,
That's a bit awkward, and this Alistar here getting caught out as well.
No.
He does not pop the Unbreakable Will, I believe.
I don't
think he had it, actually.
Yeah, I'm
and
not sure
wow.
if he had it, or maybe he used it too late. I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure, but that's still a 50-second death timer. That is
Dragon is
really
gonna go
long.
over to. Oh wait, that's Elder Dragon. I just
Yep,
realized.
That's right. We have 17 minutes in the game, my friend, and this Alistar is down for another 30 seconds, and the Dragon is up at 15. What can Alliance E-Gaming do about this? This is their way back into the game if they can find a successful fight here. But they need to be very wary of this Malphite, who is 6-0 and 7, has himself 3.5 items, as well as of course the Kai'Sa, who has 3 items as well. The other dragon has spawned, but it's actually going to be Moonlight that starts this one up. It's gonna be a while until it falls though.
I mean, if they really wanted to fight now, they should, right? Because the Alistar is going to be spawning in 3 seconds.
Yep.
So,
Corki has package as well.
right.
So therefore, they really have the opportunity to do something about this. Alistar has spawned, however, they're just gonna opt to take the mid tier 1. And looks like they're gonna back off. Keep your eyes on where the Lee Sin is if he tries to come in for a cheeky flank or anything. But for now, it looks like it's Alliance who have the power over the river.
I think what is important here is that the fact that Alliance E-Gaming FE, they don't have any sweepers at all, right? So all the vision, I mean, they just had the plant, but it's going to be so hard for them to clear all the vision again, especially once the wards come up for the side of Moonlight. A lot of I think that's a crucial misclick there from the Janna.
Yep, that's right. And look at this. They're just gonna sack. It looks like they might be sacking the dragon, or maybe not, in fact, because their Mundo is pretty tanky and is still around. This Alistar is going to be able to knock him. But meanwhile, however, the Ahri has found the Kai'Sa. It's going to be a 1v1 for them, but the Alistar as well, in the middle of everything, so tanky. Lee Sin kick coming out as well. They're just going to focus all their damage on the Mundo, and Mundo is going to fall, and that means there's no one left to smite the dragon except for the Janna, who is super low as well. Is going to fall to the Kai'Sa. It's a double kill for her. She's in the back. She's able to stay alive. She goes golden. Maybe not the best move right there, but the fight is still going on in the pit, and this Darius is able to find the Kai'Sa before he falls for himself, and that's going to be Moonlight. They are going to pick up the Elder Dragon, and they're going to pick up the team fight win.
I think that was just really indecisive from the side of Alliance E-Gaming FE, right? They had the opportunity to have a 5v4 when the Alistar was down, and they also had the Corki package, which, you know, because they waited so long, right, the package expired, and then they weren't in a good position. They didn't have any sweepers to sort of clear the Dragon Pit as well, and they just ended up giving up this Elder Dragon to a 3 dragon. I mean, it's literally a 4-stacked Elder, which is the most insane amount of burst, not burst damage, like damage over time, right? So I think it's going to be really hard for them to come back from this.
Yep, that's right. Now Moonlight have the Baron as well, and they have a pretty confident about 7,000 gold lead. They've managed to get their Zed up to speed as well. He's doing a fair amount of damage, and now really at this point, what can Alliance Gaming even do against this?
I mean, I think this game is still definitely winnable, but it really does come down to how much can they stall against this Baron, right? I mean, obviously, them having the Elder Dragon with 4 stacks is not ideal for sure. But I think if the game does go long enough, and considering the champions itself, it may be winnable, like slightly, right? Because oh,
Yeah, this Darius right now,
oh,
he is playing with fire because this Zed is super fed and also has an Elder Dragon. But meanwhile, off the screen there is going to be Corki and Janna going down. Darius falls as well. Now with this Baron buff and those 50-second death timers, things are really not looking very good for Alliance. That Ari solo forced to flash away as well. And it's really only her and the Mundo who can do anything against this super minion and cannon minions. Lee Sin just gonna flash in and land another kick. That's gonna be Ari going down, and that's gonna be Moonlight equalizing this series, and that means that we're gonna be moving on to game 3.
man, I think that game was really, really, really like unexpectedly close. I mean, we did see how Alliance E-Gaming FE, right, they came in with a cheese strategy with the double smite, and it did get them the early lead, right? It's just that they had bad team fights early on, and they were never able to recover from that, right? Especially with all the gold going onto this full AP Malphite here.
That's right, his AP Malphite did 27,000 damage there. Really landing those ultimates where they mattered, and he was able to nuke out key targets like the Corki, for example, in that last thing. We didn't even see it on the screen, but it just happened off screen where I assume he managed to land his ultimate and just take both the AD carry and the support out from the side of Alliance FE Gaming.
I think in the first game was Malphite banned.
Mm, yes, it
Yeah,
was actually
so
Alliance who banned it out.
right. So I think Malphite might actually have a lot higher priority now, in this series, right, as the series progressed, because for some reason, right, the Malphite here, not even if he went tank, right, it was just such a force to be reckoned with, right? Because the amount of CC and reliability that he gives is just way too much. Especially when the teams aren't, decisive, they aren't on the same page, right? He's able to just pick them off, and they just don't know how to respond properly.
Yeah, but look at this goal graph right now. This is the first comeback of the day, I guess, where the goal graph didn't just go one direction. It actually flipped over to Moonlight's side after about 13, 14 minutes. And that was when really they managed to find the key fight that really swung the game in their favor and made them able to win.
Now, I think I would say a lot will have to do, a lot of this would, like a lot of the progress with the teams we would have to see the progress based on the bans in the third game, because I think the bans didn't really change much from the first game, but after this performance with the Kai'Sa and the Malphite, and we did see, right, the double smite, isn't working out because they weren't able to secure the objectives despite the fact that they had two smites, and also, the Mundo there wasn't able to do much. Like, sure, he was tanky, he was a fat boy, but he wasn't able to do anything as well. Just a front line, while his whole back line was just getting completely destroyed by the Malphite.
Yep, that's right. We will be going for a short break, and when we come back, it's going to be Game 3 match point of this BO3 series. Stay tuned. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the FSL Wild Rift Open. We are here for Game 3 of this best of 3 series. It is match point right now for the game of Alliance FE Gaming going up against Moonlight. Of course, FSL Wild Rift Open is sponsored by our lovely sponsors Yahoo and Intel, but we're right now in the middle of the draft, and we already see some interesting picks right now in the support position.
Right, we do see a first pick Lulu. Actually, we can talk about the bans, right? So, the last game, the Malphite Alistar were forced to be reckoned with, and those two were instantly banned away by Alliance E-Gaming FE. And for the side of Moonlight, they have the Gragas and the Braum bans. And okay, interestingly enough, I'm curious why the Lulu was first picked there. But we do see the Seraphine here being picked into the mid lane. I believe, is that a Wukong top lane?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Which we have not seen at all, right? We have only seen Wukong in the jungle. Again, that's where Monkey belongs in the jungle, but I guess this one's going into the lane, right? So, follow up by the Leona, Ziggs, Akali, Jhin, and Lee Sin. This is a second Jhin that we are seeing today. I mean, what I can say for sure is that I feel Moonlight's team composition, again, right, they are very consistent with these comps. They really have to snowball early on in the game, right? Because the Jhin is not going to be doing enough damage later on against the likes of the Wukong and the Lulu, right? With the shielding and everything. Not only that, they also have the Lee Sin, right? Which early game strong, late game weak. You know, all of these champions, most of the champions follow the trend, with the exception of the Ziggs, which is their sort of late game insurance.
Yeah, that's right. I want to also point out that the summoner spells for the Jin as well as the Leona, they opted for more defensive kind of summoner spell with the barrier and heal. Rather, the Kaisa and the Lulu actually opted for the uh, heal as well as the ignite. So a little
Oh.
more aggressiveness there. And speaking of aggressiveness, that's going to be the Akali there.
Uh,
Maybe getting caught out. Yep, she got caught out there. It's going to be a lot of damage landing,
oh.
but not enough to seal her fate or anything. Ziggs is going to walk in as well. Does not actually land that bomb. But it looks like they want to contest this, or do they? I don't think that's a very good idea right there. The ignite does go on to the wrong person, however. It's Lee Sin who gets singed a little by that ignite instead of Leona, and now Lee Sin, is he going to try to find the smite? There's no vision, so he can't, and Olaf gets that red buff.
I mean, I think they did this in the first game as well, right? Where this level 1 invade overall is just so strong for, you know, the side of Alliance e-gaming FE, right? Because there's no way that Moonlight actually, you know, they know what was going on. They didn't know anything that was going to happen, so they were not prepared at all, right? And when they came in 4-man strong, they didn't have a proper response. You know, the Lee Sin is just so far behind now. Only did his Raptor camp. The Olaf moving on to his blue buff already.
That's right, that allows the Olaf to take away a whole bunch from the Lee Sin without really getting punished in return for it. He's now about, I think, 2 camps ahead of his Lee Sin, and he's gonna just get even more assistance from his Lulu, just to ensure that he is in tip-top shape for the upcoming Scuttle Crab.
I mean, interestingly enough, we do see the lanes are actually swapped, right? The Wukong against the likes of the Leona Jin, and the Akali 1v2 here against the Lulu Kaisa. I would say definitely favored for the side of Alliance e-gaming FE, right? Because Lulu is able to see the Akali in his shroud, sorry, when, you know, if she applies health picks on her, right? And in the bot lane, it's going to be very hard for the side of Moonlight to actually dive the Wukong, right? Especially with his clone, and with all the dashes and safety that he has.
Yep, that's right, and as you can see out here, Akali has already been poked out by a fair amount there. Unfortunately, does not get any of that farm with the Shuriken. And that really is the trouble, and that's why you see a rotation coming up right now, where you see both the Leona as well as the Ziggs moving up just to kind of dissuade any further advances from the Kaisa or the Lulu.
Oh, you're just going to help him push the wave here. I mean, I think this is a little bit awkward because the Ziggs loses a whole minion wave in the mid lane. And I mean, the Lee Sin is going to be able to pick it up, but again, as you can see, he receives lesser gold and also lesser EXP because it's in the first 5 minutes of the game. So I think it's going to be really hard. Not really hard, but they're just putting themselves in a bad position, right?
Yeah, and we saw the same thing happening the previous game where he wasn't on the Ziggs, but he was on the Zed.
Yeah.
And he was just doing pretty much the same thing, roaming, losing out that it was the Alistar who came in and soaked up the experience and money instead of him. And in this case, instead we just see Lee Sin doing it. But we see that the player, Asmara, is not afraid to roam and potentially lose out minion waves just to try to help to secure her other lanes.
Right. I think interestingly enough, right, we do see the fact that even though that there are no kills at all, there's almost an 800 to 900 gold lead on the side of Alliance e-gaming FE. So this really just shows the effectiveness of this level 1 invade, as well as how the small mistakes being made by Moonlight actually really impact the gold lead.
And that's right, they're starting to slowly move away with the gold lead there. Akali has actually rotated down, and so the Leona and the Lee Sin, who are pathing towards this dragon, which is now alive. It has spawned, and it instantly gets tagged by a Sonic Wave right there.
Oh wait, that's an
Yeah,
early
that's
TP.
a
Wukong has TP?
Yeah, Wukong is gonna be potentially coming into this one. Dragon dropping to about 3,000.
Seraphine.
Yeah, that's a Seraphine ultimate there. Jin popping up that curtain call as well, but Leona is the first one to fall to that Wukong. Ziggs Mega Inferno Bomb coming out as well, but there is no Lee Sin to smite the dragon. It's gonna be Lulu who secures it, and just when things looked a little good for Moonlight, Alliance FE come in and they seal their fate.
I think that was really early like pick up on the teleport. Like people usually never buy teleport this early. The Lulu. Okay, I mean,
Okay, never mind. There is some action happening here. Solar Flare is
Wait.
gonna land, but this Leona is tanking up on a lot of damage. The Akali is gonna find the Kai'Sa in the middle of everything. And the Shuriken, unfortunately
oh
there,
no.
will not land. That means that Alliance don't go punished for that push.
Right, because they should have definitely recalled right after the dragon there. They were all so low HP, and on the side of Moonlight, they were all coming back into the lane, right? So going for that tower push was definitely way too greedy, way too risky, and they were really, really, really lucky. The fact that nobody died there, I think just they really have like free Guardian Angel, man. Like holy crap. Also, I was about to say this Wukong on the teleport is so early into the game, right? You know, teleport is 1.8k gold. He only has a now magic mantle, you know, compared to the whole. Oh wait, actually I just saw the Akali pretty much bought the same items as him, right? Instead of rushing an actual item, the Akali and Wukong both rush enchantments instead, right? The Akali onto the Zhonya's Hourglass and the Wukong on the teleport.
Yeah, but I think we look at how much it paid off, and I would say the Wukong's one paid off pretty well right there. Was able to teleport in and win the fight for his team with that teleport kind of flank-ish that he had. But the Akali, on the other hand, didn't exactly benefit from the use of a stopwatch or her Zhonya's. So
For sure,
I don't
because the Wukong was able to push in a wave before teleporting down to the bot lane. So he got the maximum amount of gold and EXP and made the Akali lose gold. So I think, which is why this gold lead is so huge, right? If the Wukong did not have the TP, it wouldn't be in the same scenario.
that's right, Rift Herald is started up right now. Polymorph is placed out there just to zone a little bit, but it's gonna be the Jhin opening up with the curtain call. Rift Herald is gonna go down, but wait, the Leona, she went in and she instantly got demolished. And now
Oh, the
Akali,
Akali.
who was flanking, suddenly just has 5 members of Alliance turn around and take her out. That Leona right there just got instantly decimated the moment she flew in.
I mean, Leona is one of those champions that's very reliant on tank items, right? Because even though her second skill does give her base resist, right, it doesn't give her like an Alistar ultimate would. There is no damage reduction percentage, so it's so hard for her to tank, especially through like 5 people, right? I think overall this was just a good push by the side of Alliance FE, and I don't know, this game looks really, really snowbally since the start.
That's right. This kind of looks like the game 1 Alliance FE that we saw, not so much the game 2 one, where
Yeah.
they kind of faltered. And that's
No
why they
more
lost.
smite support.
Yeah, and with the smite support, of course, which they have rightfully so decided not to go back to. But I think this is looking a lot more confident from them. They're looking a lot more decisive than they were in the previous game as well.
Okay, I mean Moonlight able to. Oh.
Okay, that's
flash.
Leona pulling the trigger right there. And the Solar Flare does not land, but the Shield of Daybreak will. There's gonna be Seraphine going golden, but the rest of her team has shown up. And once again, Leona just getting popped instantly. Lee Sin able to just barely scoot out of that one alive there. Killer Instincts is not there for the Kai'Sa to follow. But still, Leona going down once again.
I mean, the Ziggs was in such a good position, but you know, taking that fight in that area where the Ziggs doesn't have his items yet, he's not going to be able to do enough damage, especially when you engage in that kind of situation. So I feel they really need to chill a little bit, right? Calm down, you know, wait a little bit, wait for Ziggs to get his items, wait for Jhin to get his items, and then you know, utilize that long range and sort of poke them out first, right? You don't have to go all in. Oh.
He's getting
Sid?
polymorphed. Yeah, he's gonna be flying straight in. He has no Guardian Angel
boy.
this time though, so that means he's gonna be going down. Akali is the next one to go in, take out the Seraphine and fall herself. Then Leona is just out of position. That right there is not where you want to find yourself, especially when 2 of your team members are already down.
I mean, overall, this game looks... I mean, it's far from over, but I don't think it's that much of a long shot to say it's over. You know, the side of Moonlight, they look so indecisive when it comes to the objectives. The Dragon was up, and the Jhin and the Ziggs were top lane, right? But the 3 of them still tried to walk into the pit. So that was really, really, really awkward from the side of Moonlight. But again, for the side of Alliance FE, right, really calm, collected play, playing aggressive but playing controlled, which is what we need to see from teams that want to pick up good wins. Not just good wins, but clean wins as well.
Yeah, that's right. They are looking really clean right now. Baron is coming up in 20 seconds. And for Moonlight, they're just trying to take out that turret, but look at
Oh.
that. The Ziggs is just forced to flash like that, but just because he tried to commit for the tower. And the worst part is they didn't even manage to break that tower open. Leona once again face checking. That's not what you want to be doing. You are so squishy at this point. You've repeated this same mistake so many times, and she just pays the price and falls for that.
Now the Baron going to be up here. I think it's going to be really easy actually for them to do like maybe a 10, 11, 12 minute Baron. A really early Baron here because the Seraphine is just going to be able to keep them alive with the shields and the heals. Not only that, they also have a Lulu. And if the enemy team just tries to come and steal, they can easily turn. Oh, looks like it's going to be an invade here.
Yeah, that's right. Lulu's taking a fair amount of damage from the Akali, but the polymorph into the Acathian Rain there, disgusting levels of damage. Akali dropped to about half health here, invading for this red buff. Leona going back in. The smite was landed by the Lee Sin. He takes that one up. He kicks the Lulu away, but a beautiful Seraphine ultimate. What can the rest of the team do about that? It's going to be Akali going golden, and she's going to be the first one to fall. The Kai'Sa is in the front for some reason, and she tanked up so many shots with the current call, but she is going to live. Not the most ideal fight for sure for Alliance, but it is going to be a 1-4-1.
I mean, we did see in that scenario where, you know, we talked about the long range from the Jhin and the Ziggs where they actually made a difference, right? Because Alliance FE, they weren't able to get onto the Jhin and the Ziggs and just from really, really far back, dishing out so much damage in that team fight. So I think that was about the best fight that they could possibly get. It's just that, you know, they are kind of a bit too far behind in gold. But if they could replicate that a few more times, I think if the game goes long enough, the Ziggs and the Jhin may be able to come back into this game.
Yep, that is definitely a possibility. Look at that Leona there purchasing the Thorn Mail. I don't know how effective that's going to be.
A little bit of an awkward item to be buying.
It is quite awkward right now for her. Yeah, I don't like that. I think she's still gonna fly in and get popped because look at that Seraphine there, the Liandry's as well as the Rabadon's Death Cap just gonna be outputting insane amounts of damage. The Lulu as well with the Lost Chapter and the Blasting Wand gonna do a fair amount of magic damage to just destroy the Leona before she can do anything meaningful for her team at all.
Now both teams here are going to be situated around this Ocean Dragon. I'm interested to see what is going to happen with the Baron though. I think there is a possibility where Alliance, they may give the Dragon and just rush the Baron down. So really have to see what are the teams going to do, because I think if both teams just fight 5v5 at the Dragon, there's no way that Alliance FE will lose unless they funnel into the Ziggs Jhin, which they did just now, and aren't able to reach them. So we will have to see what the lane assignments are going to be like and where the positioning lies.
Yeah, that's right. For now, it looks like there's going to be a huge emphasis on the bottom lane for the side of Moonlight. They've sent basically all of their members down. Wukong is still on the top side, does have the teleport as well.
Oh,
It's a very
Leona?
interesting position. Yeah, the Leona's just going to walk away. I think she kind of has stress from the previous time that she just flew in and got deleted, but that's going to be Wukong teleporting in the polymorph once again onto Leona. Wukong flying in, Leona trying as well. The charm is going to land before the fight even begins, and the dragon's already taken out. Leona once again just dying before she can do anything meaningful. Seraphine goes golden. Olaf is able to find some damage, but that is a nice perfect execution, but it's just not enough follow-up. There's just barely lacking damage right there, and the Kai'Sa is going to be able to find that Void Seeker, but that's not enough damage. That was pretty close stuff there. It was a very, very near ace. Alliance once again with a clean and decisive win.
I mean, I think, again, they did play to their composition strengths, right? They had the Ziggs and the Jhin in a safe position, firing from over the wall, but their frontline was just not tanky enough, right? The Leona doesn't really offer much help at all, right? She didn't even manage to ult before completely disappearing. The Lee Sin went in a little bit too late, and overall they're just way too far behind for them to put out a meaningful, you know, contest against the Dragon, and that just led to them losing the Baron. I don't know how they are going to come back.
Yeah, and you ask yourself really, how is this Leona pick working out? What were they hoping to accomplish with this Leona pick, and what actually has it accomplished? Because to be honest, it really just hasn't done very much for her team really with that single even with her tank item. Now that she has the one tank item, it's definitely not enough to help her team find any wins, because time and time again she flies in and she just instantly gets destroyed before she can really land any further CC at all.
I mean, I think the Leona did have some impact in the game. Like, if like they were ahead, right? Because Leona is a champion with really long range engage, right? And is a strong melee support that can heal. Considering that Braum Alistar were banned, but the way that the game was played, the Leona just doesn't have any effectiveness because oh, Olaf getting caught, forced to burn the ultimate.
Yeah. He's just gonna use the ultimate and walk away from there. But the rest of his team is pushing on this mid lane right now, and the Seraphine with those notes, she was able to do about 600-ish damage to a turret. But look at that AoE there, Seraphine ultimate connecting as well. Jin is super low right now. Kai'Sa choosing not to pull the trigger and go in. But the members of Moonlight right now, their health bars are blinking, and the siege continues from the side of Alliance.
Oh my gosh, the Seraphine damage is so disgusting. She pretty much just 1v3 in that instance.
Yep, that's absolutely right. The Leona dropping so low right now. She's barely able to do anything. The curtain call is popped just to try to dissuade the advances of Alliance.
I mean, it's just so hard for them to play the game because Alliance FE here, they made the right decision. They're playing on all the 3 lanes, maximizing the Baron buff here, attacking both the top and the bot lane tier 3 towers.
Yes, that's right. The bot lane tier 3 turret is going to be going down.
Oh.
And Leona with her all or nothing desperate engage there, landing a solar flare. But once again, goes in, gets destroyed, can't do anything about it. Kai'Sa, whoa! That's not the way you play Wild Rift. Although then again, they call it Wild Rift for a reason. It is pretty wild, this game right now. The Nexus is on 400 health, and Lee Sin was able to clean that one out. And I think right there yeah, that's why they call it Wild Rift, because it's so wild.
I mean, that I guess they give Moonlight a second chance, but is there really anything they could do? Actually, maybe if they run straight to the Elder Dragon right now, they could maybe finish it before Alliance FE is able to respond. So that is probably their only way to get back to this game. But we can see the Jin here not in position for this Elder Dragon. So I don't think they're looking to do that. And if they just hold on, right, Alliance FE are just going to pick it up themselves, run it down through the mid lane and just end the game.
Yeah, that's right. The Elder Dragon has spawned. Baron is spawning in 18 seconds. The Nexus dropped to about 300 or 400 health right there before Moonlight were able to defend that. I think because the Kai'Sa was rather overzealous, to put it very nicely. Still though, there is a 12,000 gold lead right now for the team. And the Lulu just used her ultimate on the Wukong. Okay.
Just a little bit of showmanship there.
Yeah.
Dragon here, Elder Dragon, gonna be 4 stacked and picked up here. Oh, the Baron Nashor being started by the Lee Sin. I don't think they'll be able to do it. The Redemption does spot it out. The Akali now is in a bad position. So is the Leona.
Yep, that's right. And just like that, Lions walk in and say, "Thank you for the leash, my good sirs." And they just pick up this free Baron. Lee Sin's not even gonna try to steal it. Curtain call coming out that's gonna just smack the Olaf, and yeah, there's no chance of that happening.
I mean, they may have been able to steal it because the Kai'Sa actually was the one that got it, right? But I mean, even then, even if they stole it, I don't think it would have made much of a difference here. Alliance FE just going to be walking through the mid lane, just bringing both the minion waves into the Nexus Star, going to be able to end the game.
The Nexus is dropping really low, and that means that Alliance are going to pick up the second win in this BO3, and that means that they are going to be moving on to the next round.
I think overall a pretty strong performance from Alliance E-Gaming FE outside of that, alien second game with the, slightly awkward smite support, which I guess you can say they were trying out something new. Maybe if they won with that strategy, people would be more wary, right? So it is sort of a strat since it is a best of 3 format, and overall I think they just played a lot better, right? Very, very nice, aggressive playstyle, but still very controlled, right? A lot of teams, when they play aggressive, they get a little bit over-eager, but, they still play controlled, right? They play for the objectives, they know their limits, maybe outside of that Kai'Sa ultimate, but other than that, they show really, really good gameplay, and they just easily take this series 2-1.
Yep, that's right. Alliance win this, and they're going to be moving on to the next round. as for us, we're gonna be going for another break, but when we come back, we're gonna have another BO3 for you guys. So stay tuned for that one. We'll be right back.